playing of our national anthem.
Daniels is down there by the 97 car on the pole for his pass. That's John Woods from Edmonds, Washington. On the front row outside in that 32 car, Chevy 2 powered. This is Mike Gardner from Seattle. In the number 11 car in the back row, that's Kelly Connor from Maple Valley. That's a Chevy 2 powered car. Outside of that second row in that number 2 car, Volkswagen powered, that's Mike Muntz from Tacoma, Washington. Here we come, Rick looks him over. Out of turn 4, get the green. This John Woods, first into turn 1. This John Woods, Mike Gardner, Mike Muntz, and Kelly Connor in the back. Looks like that veteran wants to run and hide. John Woods, 97 car, Mike Gardner, Mike Muntz, Kelly Connor. All these cars are fuel injected, burning methane alcohol. Here comes the Volkswagen down for the white flag. Chevy 2, Volkswagen, Chevy 2. Kelly Connor gets by Mike Muntz. Here he comes down for the checker. John Woods from Edmonds. 25 car on the pole. That's the car from British Columbia. It's driven by Dennis Kitts. It's Volkswagen powered. Next to him in the 55 car from Puyallup, Washington, also Volkswagen powered. That's John Starks driving his father's car. Two-time defending WMRA champion in that one car, Volkswagen powered. That's Rick Moss. Fast time for the evening in this Cosworth powered car. This is Mike Stryker. ABC, here they come. He says, if you're good next lap, I'll give you the green, guys. They raise their hand saying they saw her. Rick Moss in that one car, defending champion the last 2 years. They're ready. Rick the flagman's looking them over. Here they come. Now he gets the green. After the John Starks jumps after the lead. Down the back stretch they go. Here comes John Starks. John Starks, Mike Stryker, Dennis Kitts, and Rick Moss bring up the rear. Here comes John Starks from Puyallup, being chased by that big Cosworth. Can that Cosworth catch that VW? Rick Moss goes into third place around Dennis Kitts. Here he comes. John Starks from Puyallup comes down from the second flag, followed by Mike Stryker. Rick Moss.
Number 10, he turned to 1577 tonight, Wayne Hawes. Car 38, out of Eugene, he turned to 1556 tonight, Chris Rolfe. A brand new track record holder for the 360 engine sprinters at Riverside Speedway Cottage Grove, he turned to 1542 tonight, Rod Womack. And a Cedro, Raleigh, Washington, tonight's fast timer by at least a third of a second, he turned to 1511, Steve Beitler. the top 10 for the tri-track. Combination of Medford, Cottage Grove, and Lebanon points to determine the 1988 Oregon State Tri-Track Sprint Car Champion. Flagger Rick Daniels looks them over as they come out of 4. And he says, one more time, fellas. Chris Rolfe on the outside pole got the jump on Wayne Hawes out of Alturas. Rolfe, car 38, and number 9, Rod Womack, co-rookies of the year last year at Cottage Grove. Once again, outside, Chris Rolfe gets the jump. Car 38, Womack, sideways through turn 1 and 2. Beitler backs down and avoids him. And yellow will come out. And so, Rick Daniels will look him over once again. On the pole, Wayne Hawes, Chris Rolfe outside of him, Rod Womack and Steve Beitler. They come cautiously out of 4. Now we get a green. And again, outside pull, Chris Rolfe outpulls Wayne Hawes down the main straight. Beitler bounces off the tires, regroups. Tonight's fast timer goes after Chris Rolfe. Chris Rolfe, 38, Steve Beitler, 21, Wayne Hawes and Rod Womack duking it out of the tail end of the pack. To gain ground on Chris Rolfe. Here we go. Rolfe gets high coming out of turn 2. Beitler closes to within a car length. Coming out of turn 4, Chris Rolfe. And at Cottage Grove Riverside Speedways, out of the car, Chris Rolfe.
The 97 car there is our D-Dash winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's John Woods out of Edmonds, Washington, down there with the rest of the family. Mom, Dad drives, and the kids wrench that car. The balloting has been completed, at least for the midgets. The first appearing midget tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the number 3 car, driven by Brian Thomas, owned by Al Olson of the Lebanon Speedway.
QYFM, right to each friend, like to see a big happy birthday going out to Liberty, and it's coming from
Hannah Lockwood is giving the trophy to John Woods of the 97 car.
Send this out to Lisa, and it's coming from Liberty.
Oh, and he gives you a nice kiss. Now to the winner of the A-Dash for the midgets out of Puyallup, Washington. This is John Starks, Volkswagen-powered midget, won that A-Dash. Hannah Yackett gives the trophy to John. John's a young boy. I think he's 22 years old, I think. Great.
All right, Chris and Jana pose in front of the checkered flag. Chris Rolfe, of course, no stranger to fast time and trophy dashes at Riverside Speedway either. Ooh, all right, good job, Chris. And Jana, the fast time plaque award tonight with a blistering time of 15:11 in the sprints. And that plaque will be another one for the mantle of Steve Beitler out of Cedro, Willie, Washington. Great big hand for Beitler. And a great big kiss for Tana Yakut's lips getting a workout tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And Mike Stryker, the fastest midget racer tonight out of the Washington Midget Racing Association with a time of 16:45.3. Mike, congratulations. Tana, thank you. And, of course, a kiss for a very special person to Mike, his wife. And do we have the best appearing trophy?
Not used to the power in that car yet. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2 cars won the watch. 32 cars won the watch. Rick Daniels says, if you guys look good next lap, I'll give you the green. On the pole, Tom Margison. First row outside, Gary Eklund. Here they come, they got the green. Tom Margison takes him into turn 1. Plus that 97 car, John Woods. Low, and Harlan lost it again. John Woods, 97 car, was sneaking up on the inside. Did not get a start on that one. Let's see if Mr. Stubbins can keep that car pointed the right way. Here they come. No, they didn't get her. No way. Give it yellow. Well, they're back in position again, if they can stay that way. Mr. Stebbins hangs into that second row outside. Rick's going to look him over. We can't fool around here all night with these boys. Looking good, going into turn 1. This Margison and Eklund. Margison goes into the lead into turn 3. Followed closely by John Woods. Oh my goodness, it's over and over. Who is it? Here they come now, being brought out of turn 4 by John Woods. There goes the green flag. It's John Woods, Gary Eklund, Arlen Stebbins, Mike Gardner, and Mike Muntz taking up the rear. John Woods takes a sizable lead down the backstretch. The battle's for 4th between Mike Muntz and Mike Gardner. Oh, for... Here we come. John Wood takes it out of turn 4. Here we go. John Wood, Mike Gardner, Mike Muntz, Arlen Stebbins. John Wood, Mike Muntz, Mike Gardner, Arlen Stebbins. Last lap. Woods from Edmonds, Washington takes him out of turn forward for the checker. It's John Woods. Gets some Puyallup. Third row outside is John Starks from Puyallup. Here they come. One more lap, he says. Yeah. That one car is defending WMRA champ, Rick Moss. And the fourth row outside is Mike Stryker. Fast time for the day. Here they come, being led by Brian Thomas in that 3 car. Here they go, they accelerate out of turn 4. They got the green. It's Brian Thomas, Hank Bliss, George Schraw. It's Thomas, Bliss, and Schraw in those yellow cars. Look who's coming out of turn 4 in 3rd place. He's Harry Mervyn. That's John Starks from Puyallup. Watch that 55 car go, ladies and gentlemen. Now he's in the 2nd place. Look at Brian Thomas. It's Brian Thomas, John Starks, Pat Bliss, and George Raw. Down low on the inside, John Starks. John Starks takes the lead, comes Brian Thomas. Here's your leaders, John Starks, Brian Thomas, Pat Bliss, Dennis Kitts. Rick Moss is now up to 4th place. Rick Moss and Dennis Kitts battle for 4th. Rick and Dennis Kitts down in front of you. Watch that 75 in the 1 car, ladies and gentlemen. They're putting on a barrel down the backstretch. 1 lap to go. John Starks, Brian Thomas, Pat Bliss, Rick Moss is now in 4th, being chased by Dennis Kitts. Down the back stretch is Rick Moss going into 3rd. Here they come for the checker. John Starks, Brian Thomas, Rick Moss, Pat Bliss.
On the pole, car number 60 out of Roseburg, Oregon. A lot of work on the car this week. Brian Henry. Outside, row number 1, car number 44 has won 4 main events at Cottage Grove this year, and the best appearing car by your vote tonight, Greg Brown. Here's a guy in the 43 car who's 16 years of age, the fastest kid in Cottage Grove, and he turned in the 15-second range tonight, Jeff Thompson. Car number 10, racing with the Tri-Track Series at Medford, Lebanon, and Cottage Grove out of Alturas, California, Wayne Hawes. The 38 car, your Trophy Dash winner tonight from Eugene, Chris Rolfe. Points leader, a new track record holder at the Riverside Speedway in Cottage Grove, car number 9, Rod Womack. Out of Cedro, Raleigh, Washington, one of the best open competition sprint car racers in the Northwest, tonight's fast timer, car 21, Steve Beitler. Second race on the new motor for this fella. He's going faster these days from Cottage Grove, car 75, Dale Smith. Car 28 out of Edmonds, Washington from the Skagit Speedway, John Ryerson. The promoter of the Riverside Speedway in California, track champion in the San Jose, California area for many years, and a veteran sprint car driver, car 94, Mike McCann. The winner of the Douglas County Fair race last Saturday night from Roseburg, actually from Sutherland, car number 6, Gordon Smith. The number 91 car out of Oregon City, the Rad Sprinter, RAD, stands for Race Against Drugs, Alan Davis. And from Cottage Grove, car number 41, Marvin Smith. 6, Gordon Smith. Tied for 8, Joey DeSimone and Joe Hancock, and they're not here tonight. And so it looks like a race tonight, anyway, between Greg Brown, Rod Womack, Wayne Hawes, Gordon Smith, Chris Rolfe. Dale Smith is in number 10. He's in 10th place. Some of the guys that have a chance to move up and maybe take the Tri-Track Championship. Gordon Parker has just counted an even $100 in the Washington Midget Racing Association. Here they come. Brian Henry, Greg Brown, Jeff Thompson, Wayne Hawes, Chris Rolfe, Rod Womack, Steve Beitler, Marvin Smith, Alan Davis, Gordon Smith, Mike McCann, John Ryerson, Dale Smith, Jack Clark, Gary Clark, and here we go! Sideways, 360 between 1 and 2 goes Brian Henry, car number 60. And we'll do it again. With $100 from the Washington Midget Racing Association, the fund is well over $700. Make that $750. The family of Bill Arnold, who flags all the races here at Lebanon, has donated $50. Rick Daniels looks them over as they come out of 4. Here we go. Your early leader, 16-year-old Jeff Thompson out of Cottage Grove. Chris Rolfe, Greg Brown, Steve Beitler, 3 abreast heading out turn 3. Greg Brown sideways, Beitler underneath for second place. And again, Greg Brown and Chris Rolfe in a furious battle late front, fighting for third place. Here comes Gordon Smith moving up on the inside. Your leader still, 16-year-old Jeff Thompson. Your fast timer in the lead. Jeff Thompson second, car 38, Chris Rolfe is third. Greg Brown is fourth. Moving up now, Gordon Smith out of Sutherland. And off the track, heading into turn 3, we got one guy spun out. Bring out the yellow flag. Mike McCurry out of California with 46 points and 5th points. Wayne Hawes with 35. So Wayne could easily, with a win tonight, make up almost all the points he needs. So many of these cars could still end up with tonight and tomorrow's races being the Tri-Track champion. Here we go again. And again, Greg Brown fighting with Chris Rolfe for second place as they both try to get around a 16-year-old Jeff Thompson. Moving up on the inside, number 9, Rod Womack. Your leader, Steve Beitler. Womack and Chris Rolfe moving to second and third. Rod Womack, car number 9. Chris Rolfe slips high out of 2. Greg Brown goes underneath him for third. So there's your leader, 21 Beitler. Number 9, Rod Womack in second. 44, Greg Brown in third. 38, Chris Rolfe in fourth. Wayne Hawes has now moved up to 5th. Gordon Smith and Marvin Smith fighting out for 6th. Beitler with a pretty good lead now. And now the battle for third continues. On the inside, Greg Brown outside of him is Chris Rolfe. Marvin Smith goes up into the marbles on the back straight, but he's okay. Chris Rolfe, 38. Greg Brown, 44, in a furious battle for third place. And again, Greg goes underneath him. But Chris is able to make off much of it on the back straight. Starting lap 9 now for Steve Beitler, Rod Womack. We also see Jeff Thompson out of there. And we have a rollover at, on its side anyway, one of the cars. 17 more laps to go here for open wheel sprinters. Rick Daniels gives them the green. Final round, Womack. Greg Brown, Chris Wolf, Wayne Hawes, Gordon Smith, Marvin Smith. Greg Brown likes to pass on the inside of this track, and he's set up for it. Goes underneath Ron Womack. And Brown has second place. He'll try to work on Steve Beitler, but not like that. Beitler with a burst of speed down the back straight. Here comes Chris Wolf into the battle again on the outside. All around wide out of turn 4. Loses a place, and so it's Beitler, Greg Brown, Ron Womack, Gordon Smith, Chris Wolf, Marvin Smith, Mike McCann, Dale Smith, Wayne Hawes. Beitler in the lead. And again, Chris Wolf slips high out of 2, loses another place to Marvin Smith this time. Unofficially out there in traffic, doing in the low 15s out there for Steve Beitler. We're halfway through this one, and Steve Beitler has the lead, starting lap 14 now. Loses another place. Comes with Mike McCann. There's your leader, Steve Beitler. Greg Brown holding on to second. Ron Womack third. Gordon Smith, Marvin Smith, Mike McCann, Chris Rolfe, and Dale Smith. Wayne Hawes, John Ryerson still in it. Jeff Thompson, Brian Henry. Steve Beitler is your leader, car 21. Loren Moore right there out of Cedar Woolley, Washington, starting to lap some of the slower traffic. Brian Henry out of Roseburg slips high and allows him to go underneath. There's Beitler. Beitler working on 16-year-old Jeff Thompson now. Greg Brown still in second. Ron Womack in third. Gordon Smith in fourth. Marvin Smith in fifth. Mike McCann sixth. Chris Rolfe seventh. Dale Smith eighth. Wayne Hawes is ninth. Greg Brown, Ron Womack as they start lap 21 now. 4 more to go. Steve Beitler has led most of the way except for the first 2 laps that were led by young Jeff Thompson. And Beitler is still doing in the mid-15s in traffic, even lapping some of the slower traffic. He is really cooking. Greg Brown hanging in there for second. Ron Womack third. Gordon Smith fourth. Marvin Smith sixth. And there's a real battle from then on in. One more lap to go for Steve Beitler. Second, Ron Womack in third, in fourth, Gordon Smith, and in fifth, Marvin
Manufacturing, builders of competition stock car bodies. $50 from Ed Keys, All-State Building of Washington. $10 Allied Custom Draperies from Kent, Washington. Jason Jean from California, $1. $10 from Young's Racing Enterprises from Tempe, Arizona. Yeah. Who did that last amount? We have $975 so far tonight, with another $20 from Northwest Motocrossers. And here comes the trophy to Beitler out of St. Joe, Willie, Washington. Winner of our sprint car feature tonight. Big hand for Mr. Beitler out of St. Joe, Willie, Washington.
Also, of course, Greg Brown, 44, who took second. Rod Womack, who took third. And the tri-track points race becomes even closer. Greg Brown was leading it, and he'll pick up a couple of points on Rod Womack, who came in second tonight. And it'll be all decided tomorrow night at Cottage Grove. We appreciate the open wheel sprinters putting on the show tonight. More to come. Washington Midget Racers are up next.
55 car will be John Starks out of Puyallup, Washington. Rick Daniels now our starter, still keeping that yellow out. In the ninth row, it's Mike Stryker in that 4 car. Cosworth forward. Mike Gardner next to him in that green 32. Here they come, and the green is out. Brian Thomas jumps into the lead. Down low is Mike Muntz. Brian Thomas, Mike Muntz, Pat Bliss. We have Mike Stryker spun out in turn 2. We now have $1,100, ladies and gentlemen. We're very close to... Arlen Stebbins was not driving that car, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who that is down there. Complete restart. They're all lined up again. As soon as they get Mr. Stebbins' car off the front stretch. Locked up. Get it out of here. On the pole, number 2, Volkswagen powered Mike Muntz. One of our previous champions. 3-car front row outside Brian Thomas. Previous Rookie of the Year, finished third in points last year. Second row inside from Milwaukee, Oregon. Yellow 99, that's Pat Bliss. Next to him in the yellow 69, that's George Schraw of Seattle. Next Saturday night, right at this track. Here's the green flag out. It's Mike Muntz and Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas goes high. Mike Muntz down low. Down comes Pat Bliss under Brian Thomas. Brian takes back second place. It's Muntz, Thomas, and Bliss, and Shaw. Bass and Kit. Now it's Brian Thomas working on Mike Muntz. Here comes Muntz and your leaders right now, Muntz and Thomas. Pat Bliss out of Milwaukee in a 99 car. Brian Thomas take the lead. Brian Thomas took the lead from Mike Muntz. Here comes your leader, Brian Thomas, Mike Muntz, Pat Bliss, Kenny Fast, Dennis Kitts, and John Sparks. Now Mike Muntz lost that lead back. They're battling for first coming out of turn 4. There's your leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Pat Bliss from Milwaukee doing an outstanding job holding on to third place. Here comes your leaders out of turn 4. Brian Thomas from Tacoma, Mike Muntz from Tacoma, and Pat Bliss from Milwaukee, Oregon. Here comes Brian Thomas. In third place is Pat Bliss. The battle's for fourth. Kenny Fast, the 28's going to try to take over fourth from John Starks in that 55 car. Down low came Dennis Kitts, right by Kenny Fast on the backstretch. Watch that battle for fifth, ladies and gentlemen. That 75 car can move. Gotta go. Now we're set out there. He put the 99 car ahead of John Starks in fourth. Watch that 55 car on this restart. He's in fourth right now, but he doesn't want to stay there. Brian Thomas taking him out of turn 4. It's the green flag. Thomas Muntz. There's a wheel-to-wheel battle. John Starks and Pat Bliss in the third line. John Starks took over third. It's Thomas Muntz and Starks and Bliss. Thomas continues to pull away. The battle is for fifth, coming out of turn 4. Mike Striker and Dennis Kitts side by side on turn 3. It's Striker now taking over fourth. This Cosworth can move. It's Thomas Muntz, Starks, and Mike Striker. Here comes your leader, Brian Thomas from Dakota, Washington. Battle is developing in for second place in turn 2. Here we go down the backstretch. The 2 car and the 55 car battling out of turn 4. Now Brian Thomas comes up the lap traffic in the backstretch. Passes Gary Eckland low out of turn 4. John Starks got by Mike Muntz and is hot on pursuit of Brian Thomas in the 3 car. Your second place car is number 55. Here's your leader, Brian Thomas in the 3. Second place is 55 car, John Starks, Mike Muntz, Mike Striker, Dennis Kitts, and Rick Moss in that 1 car. Thomas is keeping that substantial lead. If we don't have a yellow flag, he'll walk away with this one. Here's your second place car. 55 car, John Starks. Here comes Brian Thomas starting this lap 18. Brian Thomas, who's laid off for 2 months, comes back out of hibernation to lead this race. Volkswagen powered Dakota, Washington. Second place is John Starks out of Puyallup, also Volkswagen powered. Now for third place, it's Mike Muntz and Rick Moss down the backstretch. Rick Moss takes over third. Defending WMRA champion in that one car, Rick Moss, now is hot in pursuit of John Starks. Here's your leader, the 3 car, getting in the little lap traffic into turn 1. Comes out of turn 4. Brian Thomas, John Starks, Rick Moss in the 1 car, Mike Muntz, Mike Stryker, John Wood Jr. and Dennis Kitts. Here comes your leader coming out of turn 4. That 3 car, orange 3 car, that's the pairing car. The checker flag to Brian Thomas. John Starks. Rick Moss is 3rd. Mike Muntz is 4th. Mike Stryker is 5th. John Woods, Dennis Kitts, and Kenny Ferris in that order. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to go to the pits when the cars stop. Take a look at these beautiful little midgets. A lot of them have pictures of their cars they will autograph for you. There are open-wheel drivers we have in the Northwest. Wait till he gets his helmet off. He can't hear anything with. Ladies and gentlemen, he's got his helmet on. Let's have a big round of applause for our feature winner, Brian Thomas.